For my project, I interviewed Dr. Bruce Bugbee, who's the owner of Apogee Instruments here in Logan, and also the graduate advisor at the Crop Lab at Utah State University. He started his business, Apogee Instruments, with a light meter. Now, this is just a meter used to read light levels in a greenhouse so that the light levels can be adjusted for optimal plant growth. When he first started advising the graduate students at USU, there was only one light meter available on the market, and it was over $1,000. So it was difficult. The lab only had one, and the graduate students were sharing it, and it was very time-wasting. And he figured out that he could get a similar effect and the same readings just by using a different sensor and a volt-ohm meter. And so he started making a couple of those for his lab, just enough for all the grad students, never intending on making them a bigger thing than that. But other professors and other friends started noticing, asking him to make them some. So he started pulling graduate students from the lab to his house on the weekends, where they would just sit and assemble a couple in the garage. They were under $50 to make, so much more affordable than the $1,000 ones on the market. And it just started as like a little business here just in Logan, just for friends and family. But he started to get a lot more attention for this and started to work with Campbell Scientific Instruments, which is a company here in Logan that makes similar sensors. They offered to buy out his company several times, but he kept saying, no, like, this is something I want to do. This is my business. But they worked as really great mentors for him, and they helped him, gave him advice, treated him like family. And eventually he did sell 25% of the business to them, solely so that Apogee Instruments can have the same name recognition as Campbell Scientific, and they can be associated together just to bring in more customers. But he says that they were his most valuable mentors. They were people who were on his board of directors as he was hiring new people. So as he would hire, he'd bring in a board, because every single person on that board of directors would see different qualities in the person they were interviewing than him. And he looked for people who seemed excited about the work, because he thought that they could stay with the company longer if they were excited, and also they would be more productive if they were excited about the work. And he found people who would even turn down other job offers because they loved where they worked. So that's kind of how he started hiring. He just started hiring even just with students, and eventually brought on full-time people. And as he grew, they outgrew his garage a little bit. So now they have a company building here in Logan, Utah, where they assemble everything and ship it out. Today they have 35 employees there, and they're starting to ship through third-party websites such as Amazon, and their company has become pretty successful. They're working on different meters to measure different precipitation and humidity levels in greenhouses, but the light meter is still their most popular product. So as I was speaking to him about the keys to success, one thing he mentioned was make sure that this is not your only livelihood. He has worked at USU the entire time he's been starting his business, and this has allowed him to take all the money from Apogee Instruments, put it right back into Apogee Instruments. He really is passionate about not paying yourself at first. It's important to pay your employees, but also to make your company the best it can be, rather than just growing really quickly and then getting out quickly with a lot of money. When he's been asked if he regrets not starting as fast as he did, because it took him 20 years to get to where he is today, but he thinks that slow, steady growth was what the company needed, and that's why they're successful today. Another thing he mentioned was make sure that you have a passion about it, and like I said, find employees with the same passion, because that's the only thing that'll keep you motivated during the hard times, and that's the thing that'll keep employees working for you and happy to work for you. And another thing was just that it's important to have mentors and advisors. That's one of the biggest things that impressed me the most. Is it's important to get help from people who have experience in it, even if you may not know them super well at first. But like you said, the people at Campbell Scientific became like family to him after all the times they worked together, until eventually they went into business together. The three things that impressed me the most about this interview, like I said, were passion, because scientific instruments are not something that I had seen him be passionate about, but as I was speaking to him, he was so excited about all the new products they're making, and he just wants the company to succeed. He is so excited about the growth. 2, he mentioned that you don't need a lot to start your business. He started with just an under $50 product and a garage, some graduate students, and today, through that slow and steady growth, that's how he's gotten where he is today. And then 3, it's important to, like I said, find those mentors and ask them questions and work with them, and have a board of directors as support, because he says he would not have made it without other people supporting him through that board of directors. And as I go into making my own greenhouse, that's where I want to go with this business. I think this is important to keep in mind: passion, starting small and also having mentors, because Dr. Bugbee has been a great mentor to me up to this point, and has helped me make connections with other members of the greenhouse industry that I think will kind of help as I'm building my own business. Also, I sometimes feel daunted by the idea of starting a greenhouse because it seems really big, but I don't need a lot to start, and I can start in small ways and slow, steady growth, like he keeps saying. And also just passion to make sure that it's something that I'm passionate about, which it is, and so that's what's going to keep me going. So, thank you.